Hello, adventurer. It's good to see you. You have made it to the morning grind.
Welcome, welcome.
It's the live stream at the beginning of the Geekverse, where we talk about all types of topics in geekdom, gaming, and fantasy, with an emphasis on being constructive and creating the things that we want to exist in the world.
It's all on the grind, Sizemore. Can't be too fine, can't be too coarse.
That's exactly right. There are a lot of adventures to be had today. Dungeons to explore and monsters to slay, and who knows what a random encounter might send our way. That's why we have to prepare, so settle in now for the morning grind with your favorite beverage in hand.
Tea? Or maybe something a little stronger. I've got a few bottles of the old Wynyard left.
Whatever you want. Pull up a chair.
Dude.
If you're feeling fancy, how about a cappuccino? Or a frappuccino? Or how about an espresso?
Just tea, thank you.
Sounds good to me, Gandalf. Whatever you want. I'm just glad you're here.
Everyone is welcome. You can just watch if you want. You don't have to worship anything you don't want to worship.
Thank you, Mike. But be forewarned.
Sometimes we get really strange characters around here.
Wait, what's that you say? Why can't you come and be a part of the stream?
My wife would disown me.
Oh no, I bet she'll be fine with it. Come on in.
Am I scared for my safety? No.
What are we supposed to do?
Everybody do the secret handshake.
Secret cultist handshake.
Oh, now do wizards who love each other.
This, my friend, is a science.
I still don't have gifts, but it's fine.
It's all on the grind, son. Can't be too fine, can't be too coarse.
Dude, this would be a sick place to bring the band.
Indeed it would be, Dave. It really would. I'm seeing more people coming in. Welcome, glad to have you here. Oh look, here's someone new.
Is this the cultist meetup?
Yes it is.
Come to hang out? Please accept me. I have nothing else.
Okay, we accept you. Everyone's welcome here.
Brought some snacks.
Well, that makes things even better.
You want some coffee? I don't drink coffee. You sure? It's cultist coffee. What makes it cultist coffee? I'm a cultist and I'm drinking it. Oh. Then I'll have some.
What exactly is going on here?
I'm seeing more people coming in. Welcome. It's so great to have you. Oh, and look, here comes another stranger.
Can we help you?
Yes, fellow cultists. I could really use some food.
Oh yeah? Welcome. We have donuts.
Oh, it's me. I'm glad I'm here. I'm sure you have a few questions for me, though.
What's your name? Who do you work for? What god do you worship?
Great questions, Rob.
I'm Steve King, and I worship Nyarlathotep.
No, not really. I'm just Heath, and I won't be worshiping anything this morning. But I will be your host. Welcome to the office. We're going to have a great time. I've got my coffee ready, because now it's time for the morning grind.
If you could become a fish, that would be amazing. Then I could command you with my mental fish powers.
Hey, there I am. Hey, good morning. Welcome. I feel like I have been way out of contact over the past week, but there's a lot going on, so I apologize for that. But yes, there's been a lot of Christmas activity going on, and it's been really exciting. So I did get to go out to set up a table for the letters from Santa Claus on Sunday, but I got that notice really late. I didn't see that notice until really late. I got it late, and I didn't see it after that, and so I had to kind of just put some things together last minute to go out there. And I believe I'm going to be doing that again Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And so I've got to get some more things together to try to improve what's going on with my setup at the North Pole Express train to set up the letters from Santa Claus and get those out. So I may not be streaming on Sunday either, because I may need that time to set it up again to get out there. We got to be set up. It's by 3 o'clock in the afternoon, which I realize this is 9 o'clock in the morning, but there was a lot to do. Brett says there's a video from the fire department of my house on fire, but everyone is safe. Where was that? Did you post that? I'm glad everyone is safe, and I hope that your house is not destroyed. Hope it's okay. Good morning, BGD. Good morning, RPG Exile. Good morning, Brett. Great to see everybody. Good morning. Let's see. So yeah, this and the next few days are going to be big here because today I've got to go set up for a an adult themed Christmas train. Adult themed is in wine train in this case. And then tomorrow, final preparations because there are 2 or 3 wine trains tomorrow that I'm going to be involved in. I'm going to be pouring wine tastings for a Cheers to Christmas wine train tomorrow. And then Friday, Saturday, and I hope Sunday, I will be at the North Pole Express train with letters from Santa Claus. So there's a lot going on. Hopefully after that, then I'm wrapping up. See, I got... let's see, where is... Oh, I don't really have one right now. The last one's in the other room. So I mailed out the second letters from Santa Claus. Second letter, those have gone out, Per and the Christmas Kitten. And I was just looking in Discord. Dave says, "Hey Heath, my son, almost 8, loves the letter from Santa. They look great and he's excited to see more. The other one just turned 4 and he was super stoked about the stickers. I will see what I can do to get them. I'll see what I can do to get them with the coloring sheet. I am so glad. That is fantastic. I think they are the best letters from Santa that you can get, especially if you're kind of a fantasy person, because they're not dopey. That's what I'm saying. They're not dopey letters from Santa. It's got a story. Maybe, maybe I'm leaning into the whole thing too far. But on the other hand, that was really what this year was supposed to be about. So I've been trying that. And I'm glad that I got these out, leaning into the kinds of stories that I want to create, things like that. And I'm glad that I pushed myself to go ahead and do this project, even though it's basically taken all of my creative time to send out these letters from Santa. I still have to, as well, finish the magic corn. I was working on, because in letter number 3, I'm sending out magic corn. And the magic corn is part of the story that we had talked about here. Our main topic today is talking about goblinoids within this world. This is just on white paper, but I was trying to come up with a label for the magic corn. I've got to go out and I've got to buy the ingredients. I've got to pack up the magic corn and then pack up the envelope. They're going to be a little more envelopes. They'll probably be like mailers. I still got to decide on that once I get everything packed up, and then send those out. Those will ship out Monday. Letter 3 will ship out Monday, which will be the final letter, but then also with any additional people who come in this weekend at the booth. I'm going to ship those out like Monday, letter 2 Tuesday, and then letter 3 Wednesday, and then that'll be it. That'll be that'll be as close as I want to cut it, sending out letters from Santa to get them there by especially Christmas Eve for the reindeer. So on the other hand, that'll come to an end. Well, I guess it'll still be about a week, but I won't be setting up booths or anything like that after this weekend. So hey, Sable, good morning. Great to see you. It's been a while. Hope everything is going well there. Let's see what else is going on. Oh, before we get to goblinoids, I got these in yesterday. So these are round 3 of the Cultists RPG that we've been working on. And so these are the for the Kickstarter campaign. I got the proofs in, and I've been looking at them, going over things. I mean, we basically got it completely right last time, but I was trying to make sure that there was no, accidental error reintroduced or something like that into it. And so I have not found any yet. The big thing last time was that I might have this sitting around. Yep. Look at the difference here of the way the logo is on the spine, and that's got to be right because that's what's sitting right there on the shelf. You can tell that right here on the top one, as you're looking at it, that is not centered on the spine. And then for some reason, the logo did not come out on the spine for the second wave. And then on the third wave, that's the 2 at the bottom, the hard copy and then the soft copy, nailed it. So it is there and it is centered and it is looking good. So I believe these pass inspection, and I will. I'm still not completely 100% ready to commit yet. I got them in yesterday and looked at them, but they look like it to me. I'm going to do one more pass on it and just make sure that everything is right. Because it's the holidays and it takes forever to get these printed. I don't think we're going to make a December mailing for the final rewards for the Kickstarter. I was hoping that we would, and if we didn't have to do a second round, or excuse me, a third round of proofing on these, we would have made it. But that's, I guess, on me. I didn't have the files quite right. So we are where we are. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one more pass over at these, and then also go into the mailing room where I have everything set up, all of the other awards, and I'm going to do one more count because I think we also had a few more people come in and finish the pledge manager. You know, did I close that? I'm not sure because I've been waiting on these. My mind hasn't been on the Kickstarter in a couple of weeks. I've been, moving on to been on the Christmas letters. So I'm going to go through, I'm going to count everything again, or get the count again from the pledge manager. I guess I need to close it if it's not closed. And maybe I do that tonight when I get back or something like that. But anyway, close that, give everybody the last time to finalize everything, and then count everything that I've got in the mailing room, and then order anything else I need, which of course is these books, which everybody on the Kickstarter gets the upgrade to the hardback copy. The softback copies will be available on the website later and at like convention booths or something like that. But everybody on the Kickstarter is going to get a free upgrade to the hardback version, and then make that count and then order them, because there may be some additional shirts. Like some people might not have put their shirt order in, so that might still have to be done. Get those, and then when they come in, I mean, everything is, is kind of set up. I was planning on stacking everything up in piles. Everything is kind of stacked, where I can go ahead and stack out everybody's everything that needs to be sent. I still need to sign some things, actually, so I might need to do that too. By the way, I do want to say that I noticed an upgrade to the quality here. Where is an old one? Let me see. Well, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened to my old version. Maybe I stuck it back in the closet with the inventory. But has anybody ordered a softback book from Drive-Thru lately? I noticed when I ordered the trial, some additional Trial of St. Gabriel that'll go with me to the Santa Claus train, to the North Pole Express, or the Polar Express, North Pole Express. And I think the cover is thicker. I didn't change anything. I think the cover is thicker, and the spine is sharper. Like, whereas the curve here on the spine used to be, I mean, I never really noticed it, but I guess in relation to these, I would call it a little bit soft. I mean, I liked it, and that was fine. But then also when I picked up here, I've got this copy right here. I don't know if you can see it or not. Yeah, you can see it here. I think I'm going to hold it up. Just something I noticed about the print quality. I think you can see that. So down here on the bottom one, can you see how sharp the edges on that printed book is? That's really sharp. Whereas up here, it's a bit softer and rounded. So I think that something happened, and the quality has they increased something about the quality of the way the soft copy books were. And like I said, I never would have thought anything about the older ones at all. But then when I'm holding these and comparing them, yeah, these have a much sharper spine on them, like, curved to the spine and things like that. They're much flatter on the spine, much flatter. They are flatter on the spine, and also have a sharper edge to them. So they did kind of, I think they increased quality or something with the print. So, all right, we will have those. BGD says, I have ordered several. I told you that. I might end up having to take the camera down. Oh, see, now it's too high, or I'm sitting too low. People were saying that, oh, your camera is crooked, and it was. And I came in and it slid even further today. I forgot to remount it, and so I'm gonna have to completely remount this. Maybe we can get through today, and then I'm gonna have to take my camera down because I don't want it to break, and then completely remount things. So we will see. Let's see. What can I really can't get any lower. Well, that's true too. That's true too. I didn't change my the printer does change based on location, right? I'm really worried about my camera a little bit right here. But yeah, BG says they probably outsource jobs to a variety of domestic printers depending on the jobs required. So there may be some variability between them. That could be it too. That could be it too. I know, of course, depending on your location, it will be different. But of course, my location hasn't changed. But that's interesting if they send it to a different printer. I don't know. So anyway, just something I noticed anyway that I kind of thought the ones. Oh, are we sliding again? I may have to just turn my camera off. We'll see. But yeah, that could be it too. Okay, well, let's do a breathe and sip, and then we'll talk about some goblins. I may need to turn my may have to disconnect my camera. Let's see here. All right, so I've got water this morning. I've been trying to drink more water. So let's do breathe and sip. Let's take 2 deep breaths. 2 deep breaths. Take a sip of your favorite beverage. 2 deep breaths, complete exhales, a sip of your favorite beverage, and then well, it'll make your life that much better. Let's go. And sip. I'm going to try. This would be kind of the last major thing to do with the letters from Santa Claus this year, at Christmas Ice and Fire this year, if it can be done. And that's put together a PDF version of the story for anybody who would like to have that. Maybe, if you don't have children and you're not trying to do the whole letters thing, but you like the story, or you have somebody to read, or you just want to read the story to a child or something like that, I'm going to try to put together a PDF of the story, which needs to include the letters. So letter 1, letter 2, then the story, then letter 3. That's kind of on the list, but of course, I'm kind of really busy for the next week. I want to do a print on demand for through drive-through fiction as well, but we, based on how long it takes to get approved, we will never have that before Christmas. So that'll have to be a next Christmas thing. Like I said, I had just enough time to execute kind of this project, and I'm really glad I did. And then we will go on to something else. But I do love Christmas. Okay, so I was thinking about this. So kind of thinking about our RPG side of things here, or the Christmas of Ice and Iron RPG notes, kind of going by, this is my secret weapon this time at the booth for the North Pole Express. I got glow sticks, because one problem was that, okay, if you're getting letters from Santa, okay, there's nothing to hold right there because they get mailed to you, right? Well, I ordered these. These are glow sticks. So if you get letters from Santa, kids get glow sticks. Kids love glow sticks, and especially if they see, somebody's got glow sticks. Oh, where do you get the glow sticks? So I got glow sticks to hand out this weekend to anyone who gets letters from Santa Claus. I'm having fun with this. Okay. So, let's see. So we were talking about goblinoids. And by the way, I was thinking, okay, so player characters, dwarf use Christmas elf, but I was also thinking, I said, I don't know if they're humans or not, but of course there should be humans here. We're talking about allowed humans. Humans should have this because this is, there's the with the Winter Warlock, there's the loose basis of Santa Claus is coming to town. And so, of course, there needs to be humans because I don't know if we'll call it this, but remember, Somber Town is in there, and that's like the last human outpost. I don't really remember. I've not watched the show again since I started this. I'm going entirely by childhood memory. But I do remember there was like a town, and then like there was the mountain range, like the last human outpost before the mountains, which I think the pass was being guarded by the Winter Warlock. Outpost before the mountains, and then over to the Great Workshop. But I think in this case, or what we'd call that, whatever is magical. So of course, the magical world of dark, evil Christmas, world of dark Christmas. So actually, human does make sense. So human makes sense if you're using race as class. I guess all of them make sense. Fighter makes sense. Cleric makes sense. I guess Santa Claus would be a cleric, being he's the Prince Bishop. I don't think you make him like a multi-level fighter cleric. I think he's a cleric. But that works. Thief could work. Let's see. I'm keeping a close eye on the camera over here. We'll see. Thief, especially if the idea is being reformed. Of being reformed. Fighter cleric. Wizard, maybe not. But yeah, there could be like human outposts. So yeah, I mean, human should be allowed as a starting race here. But also like Snow Ranger, like Ranger. If you're not doing race as a class as race, if not doing class as race, this is not formatted in any great way. If not doing class as race, Ranger would probably work. I am going to hold on. I'm going to take down this camera just a second because I do not want it to fall, and then I've got a real problem. So just 1 second. Okay, I'm back. Sorry. So I'm going to be without a camera at the moment because I need to work on my camera mount. So I'm without a camera, but at least that means it won't break and I won't be without a camera permanently. Okay, so I'll try to fix that by the next stream. So, okay, but anyway, maybe Ranger I think would work, especially if it's like a Snow Ranger. Snow Ranger who ventures beyond the Winter Warlock's mountains. Warlock's mountain range. I think that could work. We do have, let me open up the old school essentials here. Acrobat, assassin, not really. I mean, acrobat, maybe. We're looking for kind of the most appropriate. Well, bard. Snow barbarian. That would also work. Let's see. If not using race as a class, ranger, especially if it's a snow ranger, or barbarian, that does work. From the frozen north. This could be, this might even be one of the only humans that lives above the mountain range or north of the mountain range. Let's see. Cleric, drow, druid doesn't particularly fit. Oh, character races. Let's see. Elf, fighter. We talked about. Well, I don't know about elf. Of course we're using gnome for Christmas elf. We'll address that. But like the Celtic elves, I think those would be non-player characters above the mountain range. Halfling. Don't know. Illusionist, knight, magic user, paladin, ranger, thief. Okay, all right. So that kind of covers that. So that does give a little bit of additional allowable player races right there. Okay, so I wanted to take a look at, okay, so our bad guys. I don't know how we see armored polar bears. Those could be bad guys or good guys. But I did want to add, of course, snow trolls. We got to have snow trolls generally as bad guys. It seems like there needs to be a story where the dwarven brewmaster is hacking at snow trolls. Let's see. Okay, so goblinoids. Goblins, I think we do go ahead and increase orcs here because we've got orcs. We said long orcs with crooked swords. So I like this. I thought that what the idea between like our taxonomy of goblins or goblinoids here would be Tolkien inspired and kind of getting that sort of straightened out in kind of ways that Tolkien, doesn't, but implies, and kind of the way that I would put them as far as the taxonomy goes for a dark fantasy story. And then this is kind of Christmasizing it a little bit, but it could be used as the same kind of taxonomy for any type of dark age fantasy. So I'll just write that. Let me rewrite down here. So goblinoids. Let's see. So the smallest kind are the gremlins, which we worked with last time. Then we go to goblins. Larger than goblins, are hobgoblins. And let's find out. I want to know if hobgoblin is actually in the OSE. So hobgoblin. Let's see what it says about that. Did we look at that last time? I can't remember. Let me look up the. See if we have the bestiary. That's spells. I never quite grabbed the right one. Okay, that says players tome. Rules tome. Oh yeah, here we go. Oh, werewolves. Were-rat. We have and were-bear. Oh, we do have these. See the polar bears, the armored sentient armored polar bears. But I do kind of like lycanthropes as bad guys. So werewolf, were-rat, yeah, were-bear, were-rat, and werewolf. Were-bear, werewolf, and were-rat also seem to be appropriate. We said we had a giant someplace in here, didn't we? Because we talked about having a giant at the ice, the Winter Warlock's cave, giant. But then I think, see, ogres need to go down. Or I was looking up hobgoblin. GH. Oh, what type of giant? We got different kinds of giant. Well, we got frost giant, of course. Let's see, frost giants here. 18-foot tall humanoids with pale skin and yellow hair, pale skin and pale yellow or blue hair, dressed in furs or iron armor. Males have long beards. Let's see, boulder throwing up to 200 feet, cold immunity, unharmed by cold-based attacks, castle high up on snowy mountains, guardians, 20% chance of 3D polar bears or 66 wolves. Perfect. So there does need to be snow trolls. The giant, like I'm thinking the giant that lives in the, that's more something, yeah, it's talking about having a giant that has a castle. So I kind of think the giant that lives at the warlock's castle is probably a bit more subservient than that. Maybe based giant at the warlock's castle. Maybe based on hill giant. Have to come up with a good name for him. Oh, Daniel says definitely were-rat, very Nutcracker-esque. Oh, I didn't think about that. I saw were-rat and I thought about Barnaby in the story. That, okay, we do have a talking rat, so something being turned into a were-rat sounds like a pretty reasonable thing. But then also frost giant with castles, with a castle. And, maybe there are other, I mean, there probably are other passes through the mountains that are guarded by other things than the Winter Warlock. And a frost giant would be a fun one. Let's see. Still can't find hippogriff. Hobgoblin. Okay, yeah, we do have hobgoblin. Larger and nastier relatives of goblins dwell underground, but commonly seek prey above ground. So I'm kind of thinking that, well, this says hobgoblin king and bodyguards. Okay, you get increased, yeah, hobgoblin king and hobgoblin bodyguards. A Thule? Page 206? What is a Thule? Thule is a magical monstrosity that looks like a hobgoblin except on close inspection, but combine the powers of ghouls and trolls. Sometimes live among hobgoblins. Okay, well that's interesting. I have not ever heard of that before. Let's go. Oh, hey. Hey, Better with Bacon. Great to see you. Things have been very busy here. I don't have my camera on because my camera was sliding off its mount. It finally gave up the ghost after everybody was saying that it was crooked. So I took it down before it fell. So if you're coming in, I took the camera down so that I don't lose it permanently. Thule. So yeah, I've never heard of that. Let's see. Hobgoblin. Thule? Is that in the AD&D Monstrous Manual? Or is that something that was made up? And something else. Okay, I don't see Thule over here. I did go by troll here. Does it have snow trolls? It has ice troll. The ice troll is smaller, more intelligent relative to the normal troll, and it's probably the result of magical experimentation. Well, we'll see. Okay. We do have, yeah, ice troll. Ice troll is in the AD&D guide. Hobgoblin. So gremlin and then goblin. Hobgoblin is to gremlin. Okay, then we will go orc. Half orc, maybe. But then I think that what we do is you say ogre. So ogre. So actually, I'll put that up here. So goblin is to hobgoblin. Yeah, goblin is to hobgoblin, as orc kind of is to ogre. Go ahead and put ogre there, and maybe they're a little bit different, but when the goblins need extra muscle, they go hobgoblin. When you got orc, you need extra muscle, you kind of go ogre right there. Now in Tolkien, we've got, we're not going to have that name here, but the half orcs to me are different. Those are like the spies that have infiltrated like Bree, but you have the Uruk-hai. Some other name. And I had, I took this, excuse me. I took this reference out, but I had the gremlin serving the Winter Warlock. It seems to me that he needs to have been a bad guy at one time. He can't do things that are too terribly bad, so he's not irredeemable. But he needs to have been a bad guy at one time. Is ogre in here? Let's find out. Oh, I really like something I never got to play when I was playing GURPS. I just went by Pixie. What is it, like an Elion or something like that? It does seem like, there's one other thing that we need to put up here. Maybe for our allowed races, maybe come up with a different name: Sprite, Pixie, Elion. If that's right, that might be but that's the really noble, like pixie kind of things that were in the GURPS fantasy folk book. Wait, what is this? But what can you do? A faithful mount, strong and true. A new mount must be acquired, but it can never replace the mount we lost. In time, it will grow on its own, not as a replacement, but as an equal. What do we mean? I'm sorry, I don't understand that reference. Maybe I should. Is that to the? Well, I don't know. I'm not sure. But then also cat, because we've got per cat. I want to take a look at that. Well, since we're kind of looking at goblins today, we'll look at cat someplace else. But I thought it would be interesting to, like, we got the talking cat, and of course, Per is magical, and she becomes a familiar to the Winter Warlock. So it seems like some people might want to play a cat, and I, interestingly, have been involved in another project where people might want to play cats, and that should continue here. So how do you make cat a playable race in old school D&D inspired stuff? Anyway, I think at that time we were looking at basically at 5e. But how do you create an effective cat character? That was one that we should look at. So cat, and of course the other thing that the other thing that I was involved in where you might want to play a cat was Lovecraftian, because you might want to play a cat of Ulthar, right? The intelligent cats from the dream cycle, from the dreamlands, that are in the Dream Quest of Unknown Kadath, right? And so we wanted to put the cats in there. And so if you do kind of like how we got goblins here, and if you work this out here, you can go for dark fantasy as well. This is just slightly Christmasized. I think you could do the same thing right here: an intelligent cat of Ulthar. And kind of bridge that gap. So, and just maybe even someplace in here imply that Per and her mother are from Ulthar. Maybe they were doing something like that. So an intelligent cat of Ulthar. Use this as well for an unspeakable cults Lovecraftian cat PC. Probably BGD would be excellent at figuring out how you do an intelligent cat, and make it an effective, playable race. But I think one of the things you look at is if you've got Sprite, Pixie, something like that, you know, that's kind of, I mean, that might even be smaller, but how have people effectively done that? And then can you transfer that over to a cat? Daniel says that, yeah, there's Magical Kitties Save the Day. There's legitimately a tabletop RPG for that. I don't want to go into this in too detail, but yeah, magical kitties, but then also like other different kinds of magical animals. My uncle rather, wrote some stories about that, and I was. It's been very difficult to get in touch with him because okay, there's a lot going on with him, but he had stories that I think would fit very well with like, well, that I wish were out there, and they might not be. They might all be sitting in his drawer. And I was like, you know, with the print on demand and stuff like that. They would kind of fit the theme of a Christmas of ice and iron and Rabavania and stuff. Daniel says cat is a surprisingly popular choice. I don't know if they have a third-party license, but I highly encourage reading the rules. Not only is it well aligned with what you're doing, but it's fun and gentle. That's actually an RPG. Oh, I didn't realize. Okay, I think you're referring to here. Okay, hold on. Let me look that up. Magical Kitties Save the Day. I mean, the trick here is that it's got to be something that people are playing in addition to other things. Save the Day, you know, that can fight. You know, of course, Purr just runs from the gremlins and then uses her magic to get away. But, you know, it's got to exist in that world. And other people might be playing like the dwarf and humans and things like that. Magical Kitty Save the Day RPG. Oh, yes. Okay. So this is, I found it. Here's the Amazon thing. Atlas Games. An all-ages role-playing game of cute, fierce, cunning kitties. Use your magical powers to solve problems and save humans from terrible troubles. A role-playing game designed for all ages to enjoy that excels at an introduction to the hobby. Includes a solo play graphic novel that you can start playing within moments of opening the box. A world of magic kitties. Okay. All right. So how do you do that? But I think the coming up with a good Cat of Ulthar. Way to go. Hey, I wonder if Cat is in here. Rules tome. Do we have Cat? I know we got Cat in the AD&D guide over here. Camel. Cat. Great. We have Cat. Great. We don't have like house cat right here. We've got like lion, mountain lion, panther, saber-toothed tiger, and tiger, which does make more sense for fighting. Where did we get the? I'm sure cat was in like 3rd edition. Like here's Cat Great in the AD&D book. Yeah, we've got Great Cat again, cheetah, jaguar, leopard, common lion, mountain lion, etc. I don't see just cat. It could possibly be in something else. But then down here. So, okay, Better with Bacon says it's very family friendly, like a child's first tabletop RPG, but well made and it's cute as heck. I have not heard. I wonder why that one hasn't come up before now. So I guess we will do this. So here is our categorization of goblinoids. We started to say something a little bit about gremlins up here. So we got some idea of what they are right here. Like that, goblins are small, mischievous, and vicious. But also vicious. They can crawl around the walls and under floorboards where larger creatures cannot go. They nearly always appear in large groups. Let's see. They have green skin. and large bat-like ears. Large, pale, bat-like ears. They have green skin, large, pale, with sharp, needle-like teeth. When they do fight, and when they do fight, and of course, in the Christmas kind of thing, they fought with like broken toys and things. But here we could say when they do fight, they often rely on sharp, long, sharp knives. Long, sharp knives. Beware of their chieftains. See, their chieftains, what loot they do gather, what loot they gather and steal, or the best of the loot. The best of the loot they gather and steal will be in the hands or the claws of their chieftains and his brute bodyguards. Expect them to use it. During a fight. So now these goblins here. We'll go down here. Goblins are the mainstay goblinoid, greenskins. In the region. Let's see, what do we have about goblins over here in AD&D? These small evil goblinoids would be merely pests if not for their great numbers. Goblins have fat faces, broad noses, pointy ears, wide mouths, and small, sharp fangs. Their foreheads slope back and their eyes are usually dull and glazed. They always walk upright, but their arms hang down almost to their knees. Their skin colors range from yellow through any shade of orange to deep red. I really like this description of a goblin because of like the demonic aspect of it. Usually a single tribe has members of about all the same skin color. Their eyes vary from bright red to gleaming lemon yellow. They wear clothing of dark leather, tend toward dull, soiled looking clothes. Goblin speech is harsh and pitched higher than that of humans. In addition to their own language, some goblins can speak the kobold, orc, or hobgoblin tongues. Okay, so these guys also have the light sensitivity. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to put C, AD&D, M&M, or MM, P 163. But then also the goblin descriptions. Oh, so all goblinoids. So we do want to say that all goblinoids have black blood. Also, the goblin description in The Hobbit for Goblin Town. And that is, especially their black blood and are responsible for creating many of the evil and the evil creature, the evil what am I trying to say here? Object is not really the right word. Word that plague the world today. From engines of war to do we have explosives? To engines to explosives, to instruments and methods of torture. They have no love of beauty, but their equipment is well made. And see, that's kind of this is in contrast, I think, to the Peter Jackson kind of orcs. But their war gear is well made and suited to its purpose. Because I think of Peter Jackson ended up with, especially like when the Mordor orcs attack. Now the Isengarders are a bit more uniformed, but I think of them as being a bit more uniformed because, okay, yeah, they're no great love of beauty, but efficiency in war is kind of a big thing here. Armor, like armor, heavy mail. I mean, this is for the larger kinds. Heavy mail, especially for the larger soldiers and stuff like that. Maybe we put that under orc over here. And come in great numbers. These also need to be the Ice Wolf Riders. Just making notes here. Ice Wolf Riders. Let me get a page number. Yeah, I do really like the Goblin write-up and the AD&D guide. Let's go over here to, what do we say about goblins? We kind of looked these guys up before. I'm going to give myself a page number reference. I don't have to do this again. Goblin 176. And then also OSE 176. What did I say? Yeah, 176. This says for Goblin King. Let's see. These guys hate. Let's go up here for the gremlins. And let's say gremlins hate Christmas elves. Because they're kind of the counterpart to the Christmas elf here. Goblins hate Christmas elves, gnomes. Attack on sight. This is light sensitivity. Yeah. Wolf Riders. Yes. Ice Wolf Riders. Come in great numbers. They are especially dangerous when mounted on ice wolves. Allowing them to travel swiftly. And there is also note here. I'm thinking of the helmets. The helmets that Games Workshop often had some like Goblin Wolf Riders wearing. Had some Goblin Wolf Riders wearing. That was like inspired by like Russian kinds of helmets, I think. Russian helmets, and that kind of works because we don't probably need to know exactly where this human, like specifically what this human outpost here. There are probably a couple of them. In fact, it would probably also be neat to have like Sombertown, but we could also have a smaller Inuit outpost. Could be Russian-esque. Could also be like Nordic. Oh, well, we said something about the barbarian, right? The barbarian of the frozen north. Lost tribe of Vikings. Especially depending on what type of date this could be. This is kind of a fun little world building exercise, I think. Hey, good morning. Good morning. An account. Good morning. It is great to have you here. Praise be to Cthulhu. My cultist coffee is warm. I'm so glad. I'm just drinking water, but I'm glad you have warm coffee. I'm going to get some warm coffee later this afternoon. I stopped drinking coffee in the summer, but it is prime coffee drinking time now. Really kind of just became that down here. So I haven't even gotten my coffee maker back out. Let's see. Hobgoblins. So we do have so like for Goblin, we've got Goblin King and Bodyguards. See, what's the difference like between, I have to check this. Like, look at the actual stats here. Like, what is the difference between something like a Goblin Bodyguard? Okay, a Goblin Bodyguard has 2d6 HP. Okay, according to OSE here. Okay. Whereas, okay, a Hobgoblin. So is it just the Hobgoblins that are usually the bodyguards or something? Larger and nastier relatives. Okay, so Hobgoblins, according to OSE, have the same armor class. Okay, more hit points, but not that many more. A standard Hobgoblin only has 5 HP, whereas a standard Goblin has 3. Attack 1 times weapon 1d6. Okay, Hobgoblins go up to d8. The Hobgoblins have a better Thaco by 1. And then probably, then we got Hobgoblin King and Bodyguard too. So, I don't think it would be that big a deal to say that like the Hobgoblins are sometimes the bodyguards. Could use, instead of using Goblin Bodyguard, it could be Goblin Bodyguard and Goblin King. Often the Hobgoblin is the chieftain or king with a Hobgoblin with an elite. Hobgoblin bodyguard. I also think here, especially here for the Christmas side of things, I don't think this works quite as well for just the general dark fantasy. Because I like to stay with the demonic element kind of the goblinoids here. But as an idea here, elemental flavors. Elemental, what do you call it? Like an elemental lens that can be applied. This is kind of like a GURP style thing. What makes a lot of sense would be like a frost. Because we do have, like in Hero Quest, you've got the goblins, and then don't you have like the frost goblins as well? And then also, we were kind of disappointed when we had the fire-looking goblins and the spirit goblins, but they weren't different. I kind of do want to. I need to finish painting those. Those have been sitting over there forever, and they're so easy to do one night. But like frost versions, enchanted frost versions of some of these guys. Maybe enchanted by evil magic, like the Winter Warlock's magic when he was evil. So you have like a dedicated kind of like frost lens that could go on. Orc. This needs to be the long-armed loping type. Whereas the goblins here are kind of the mainstay greenskins of the region. Orcs are how do I want to describe that then? Orcs are the soldiers. We need some type of description. I mean, I'm hesitant to use ogre because ogre just, for something like, the Uruk-hai, because to me, an ogre is more like what was shown in something like the Hobbit movie. They just continue to spiral these orcs out of control. I like the smaller, demon type, but then an ogre, that I don't want to use that term for something like Uruk-hai or half orc. I kind of want to preserve this as the largest and strongest of the goblinoid kind. But what they gain in strength, size, they often lose in intelligence. They can be used in war by the orcs for smashing and breaking, but are seldom in command positions unless they are in charge of a small band of goblins and gremlins. They keep in line. They mainly by bashing heads. We'll say that right there. Mainly by bashing heads. So, you could have kind of like an independent charge of a smaller that's kind of how I think of an ogre. So this is much. Let's see what we got over here. Let's see other interpretations of ogre. What is our OSE ogre like? I would guess that we have one. Oh, we do have normal rat in here. We don't have cat, but I guess rat makes sense. I'm looking at the OSE book here. I guess rat makes sense because sometimes you do fight like, okay, this is giant rat. We do have normal rat, normal rat. Swarming packs of 6-inch to 2-inch long individuals with brown or gray fur. That's for a pack of normal rats, though. Okay. What was I looking for? Ogre? And we got okay, this is page 194 OSE for reference. And let's see. So, frightful humanoids, 8 to 10 feet tall, dressed in animal hides, often dwell in caves. Yeah. AC 5, hit dice 4 plus 1, 19 hit points, attacking with a club, 1d10, Thaco 15 or plus 4. Yeah, that seems like a pretty good goblin to me. Sack, outside the lair, carrying a sack containing 1d6 times 100 gold coins. Hate Neanderthals, attack on sight. By the way, Ogre and Orc are on the same page in the OSE. Orcs, it does have AC 6 for a 13. 4 hit points. So yeah, the ogres have 19 hit points. Like when you get to an ogre, yeah, to me that's a big deal. Orcs have hate the sun. Yeah, weapons prefer axes, clubs, spears, or swords. Only leaders can use mechanical weapons such as crossbows or catapults. Craven, afraid of larger or stronger looking creatures, even though leaders may force them to fight. But see, to me, that also seems to be something that, like, at least the gremlin should have. And of course, that also comes up with the discussion quite a bit about what does it mean that the for this warrior race to be afraid and craven. I remember having a lot of discussion with that on like the Lord of the Rings boards. What does it mean for like a leader to force them to fight? Leader groups are led by an orc with 8 hit points. The leader gains +1 bonus to damage rolls. Leaders have defeated other orcs in combat to gain their position. An orc chieftain, 4 HD for 15 points, 15 hit points, rules the tribe. Chieftains gain +2 bonus to damage rolls. For every 20 orcs, there's a 1 in 6 chance of an ogre accompanying them. Okay, that works. Okay, again, association between orcs and ogres. The hobgoblins are to goblins what the ogres are to orcs. There is a 1 in 10 chance of a troll living in the lair. Let's go over and take a look at troll here in just a moment as well. Tribal. Orcs of different tribes may fight among themselves unless the leader commands them not to. Each tribe has its own lair and as many females as males, with 2 whelps per adults. And they may be hired as mercenaries to fight in chaotic armies. Let's go over to see what type of troll options we have available for import directly. Troll. We do have, see, we said troll. They're dedicated soldiers. Well, we're going to say, and are the most intelligent and strategic of the goblin kind for the orcs. Let's go. What did I say about trolls? Let's see what type we got here. Troll. Intelligent, wicked, 8-foot-tall humanoids with emaciated, rubbery bodies consume the flesh of other humanoids, dwell underground in barren wilderness and the ruined homes of former victims. AC 4 or 15, hit dice 6 plus 3 for 30 HP. Regeneration 3 rounds after being damaged. They start regenerating 3 hit points per round. Severed limbs reattach. Return from death. If killed, 0 HP. They will regenerate and fight again in 2d6 rounds. Fire and acid cannot regenerate damage from these sources. The only way to permanently kill a troll. Fear of fire, morale 8 when fighting fire or acid. We don't have different kinds of trolls, though. So troll is page 207 in OSE. But we don't have different types. Snow troll is in, or it's actually called an ice troll. Ice troll is in AD&D Monster Manual, though, for reference there. But then also, these can be these polar bears. We say need to be good guys or bad guys. And maybe for this, maybe for the kind of Christmas themed kind of version of this. Yeah, hasn't this been all Christmas themed? This has been such a Christmas themed kind of discussion here with all these. But maybe you don't go into half orcs. Although, maybe they could be spies. I mean, they could serve the same kind of purpose here. They could be spies in the human settlements. That could be their purpose. Hey, let's we've been going for over an hour here, haven't we? Oh yeah, we have. So we've had an hour actually of discussion here. I haven't even looked at the clock. I've just been going here. But let's see, just as an example, I wonder what other I wonder what Gemini would brainstorm for us right here. Let's find that out before we go. Let's go to Gemini. And I'm going to, let's see, this is OSE Gremlin stats. Let's say I'm trying to come up with a scheme and classification for goblinoids based on Tolkien and The Lord of the Rings, the written material, So if I was going to have something like the Uruk-hai, but I needed a different name for that, what should I use? It can't be ogre or hobgoblin or half-orc. All of that's already taken. Is there something that has a different sound like Uruk-hai drawn from some other kind of language that we could use? I mean, maybe Nordic or Russian inspired. That's interesting. To me, this is one of the best uses for something like AI, because you don't have to worry about accuracy. I'm not trying to come up with accuracy here. We're trying to brainstorm something creative than something that's plausible. Hobgoblin. Or half orc. Sound like Uruk-hai. Voice to speech really didn't like all of that. So let's find out. Let's give it a chew on that. Heavy orc warrior. Well, yes. I mean, it could be that, but it would be great if we had something like that. Yeah, troll. Yeah, troll's already taken. I'm wondering if it's going to give us that. Half orc, but yeah, I mean, this is like, heavy orc warrior. But need something else. Uruk-hai just sounds so great. Okay, the Slavic Russian aesthetic. Using hard Ks, Gs, and Zs, Russian offers a similar heaviness but feels more cold and structured. And of course, these could have different kinds of discussions. So possibilities here, I'll put them over here so that you can see them. Possibilities over here. In fact, I probably should have thought to increase the size over here, and I didn't. Might make it easier for you to see. The Uruk-hai alternate possible names. The Vrak Voy, that sounds kind of cool. For enemy, Vrag enemy, plus Voin warrior. V sounds, which is distinct from the orc vowel sound. The Vrak Voy are coming. I actually do kind of like that. Vrak, okay, that works. The Grozny. and different like cultures could have different names. So that's terrible or fearsome, as in Ivan the Terrible. The Krov Narc, blood people. This is the direct equivalent of Uruk-hai orc folk. Krov Narc sounds like a grinder. The Zurav Kroll. Beast King. Let's save that one. For a more Nordic aesthetic, the Scrawling. Or okay, this one's Nordic. This one's interesting. The Svart Grim. For black or dark, fierce mask. Vrogkin, wolf outlaw. Let's see what. What is the Jodvark? What are we thinking here? I do like this one. This one is pretty neat right there. Well, yeah, but that's the Draugr. Yeah. Yeah, but they're not undead though. I don't think. Let's see. So the Winter Warlock specific classification, if these are the elites of your specific setting, you could mix the two linguistically to create Cold Tongue. The Miraz High, okay, or the Miraz Kov, meaning Frost Forged. Well, that's interesting. Maybe that Frost Forged sounds like we need that for something else, though. Wait, where did my thing go? Okay. That's the Frost Forged. That doesn't seem to work here. But it needs to be some other kind of enemy. I mean, that sounds like a golem to me. The Krov Guy. That means blood folk. Blood folk. Skalgrim. I think going the Russian is the way to go with this. One other thing, though. What would somebody else like this? One, I'm asking the Gemini. One other thing. What would the members of an Inuit settlement call these people? Call the Uruk-hai equivalent. So Svar Kiger, orc from Africans, and that means heavy warrior. The Swar Kiger. That sounds pretty cool, actually. I'm going to write that one down. The Swar Kiger. What would an Inuit settlement call it? The Tornate? Derived from Tunit or Tornit, an Inuit legendary name for a race of giants or strong ancient people who inhabited the north before them. Oh, we need to use that. The Tornite. This is like comes from a race of giants. Kigvac, the biters. From Tooth and Great Large. Oh, so why it works. The gremlins in the story are defined by their needle-like teeth and toothy grins. The Uruk-hai equivalent would be the Great Biters. That's kind of cool. The Krigvac, the biters. Great biters or great biters. Directly oppose the gremlins and their needle-like teeth. The Adlet wolfkin, half human, half dog wolf. Well, that sounds more like a werewolf to me. That does sound cool. I'll put that over here. The Adlet, that's wolfkin. More like werewolves. Yeah, the Kigvac. Yes. Okay. Long live the biters. Latin, the Pedites. Pedite graves, heavy infantry. All right. Well, I'm going to get out of here. I have got to go. This has been fun. Maybe we'll talk about the cats later. But this has been good. I will see you later, but I will probably be out of touch because I got to get ready for like trains for the next 5 days, as well as sending out some letters. So I'm going to be out of here, but I have enjoyed this. Have a wonderful day. I may not be streaming on Sunday. Because of all the train stuff going on for Christmas for the next 5 days or something like that. So may not be here on Sunday. In fact, probably would say more likely that I won't than I will. But anyway, have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful Christmas season, everybody. I will talk to you later. Go forth, be creative, and good luck.